Hi there, and welcome to week 5 of the semester. Week 5 means we're about a third of the way done with the semester, and accordingly, we're sort of moving from one unit to the next of our study, sort of wrapping up some things and beginning new things at the same time. So there's a little bit of overlap between our first unit of pop culture and our next unit of food and society. So I'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. I want to just look back at week 4 real briefly and talk about a couple different things. I wanted to comment on Writer's Toolbox reflections, and I just realized this morning when I got to campus, I had gone through and had taken a look and read what you had written for your Writer's Toolbox reflections and planned to go back and make some comments later and hadn't. So that will take place by the end of today. So sorry about that. I usually do things within a couple of days, and I guess that because I had it in my mind that I had read what everybody had to say, I just sort of put it filed away in my done category. So you should hear from me and get those scores recorded soon. You'll also get scores, of course, recorded for the outline draft response groups that you participated in last week as well, which just wrapped up last night, but I haven't had a chance to score them yet this morning on campus. I remember last week also you were doing some final things from Begin Your Research. This week you'll be wrapping that up with the final thing, a post survey, and also you were wrapping up your additions to the research collections. So that was sort of us going and sort of wrapping up some pop culture things, which you're going to do one final thing this week related to that, which is your revision of your outline or plan or essay draft that you put on your response groups last week. You're going to be posting a complete draft to your group this week, and that will be sort of concluding that part of the class. And people always ask me at this point when the final drafts are due. Okay, final drafts are due in portfolio. Your drafts and your deadlines for your essays are the 2 response groups, the conference with me, which a few of you did your Google Docs conferences last week. Majority of you are doing them this week, and you'll get feedback from me during that time. So those are the deadlines for things. What we're going to do is do a series of 3 essays, and then you're going to be choosing the best of your work from the semester, including choices between essays and analytical responses. And then you'll be selecting those things and putting them in your portfolio that you'll submit to the committee at the end of the semester. And so those are when they're due. But there isn't a time where you're going to just sort of turn it in and be done with it. You'll continue to revise. You have your first conference with me. You can have revision conferences with me on any of your essays. And so it's sort of an ongoing thing. This week, the things to be focusing on, as I said, we are shifting into a new thing, as you can see from the pictures here. We're going to be talking now about food and society and the role that it plays. And one of the things that I encourage you to do over the next few weeks as we're doing this is to keep some type of food diary or log for yourself, just where you write down what you eat and drink, but also the observations that you make about your eating habits. When do you eat? Maybe the things that you notice about those around you, influences that you see on eating, and just sort of pay attention to the role that food plays in our society, because it's pretty significant. And I think it's pretty interesting when we start looking at the importance of food in our social structure and in our own lives. So making some notes about that and keeping that, whether it's in a Google Doc or writing it down somewhere, is actually a really useful thing that will help you with some ideas for where you want to take your next essay, and also incorporating some of your observations into your analytical responses in future weeks. Their reading this week is going to be from this topic of food and society. So you'll see a number of things specifically related to fast food and to processed foods within our American culture. I'd also like you this week to go back and review the research collection and curation document. You're going to be doing a self-assessment this week on that. And this is for the pop culture. You're going to start collecting things and adding to our research collections for food and society now. So to wrap this up, I'm asking you to do sort of a final review of what you added to our research collections for pop culture and submit that assessment to me. And you'll see the link down here, of course, in the activities grid in that case. This week you're going to be posting a little bit different writer's toolbox. Usually I either have a toolbox where you write directly to me and then I hopefully respond when I remember that. Or you post something to share with other people and then you read and then you comment on each other's things. This is a little bit of a combination. I'm going to have you choose a section of your essay number 1 draft and choose some paragraphs from that and apply the some strategies from our from the writer's tool, from the, what am I trying to say? They say, I say, to this section. So you'll see here where it's asking you to look at the use of keywords and this type of thing. And so you're going to be using this in application to your actual toolbox this week. And you're not going to have to go back and respond to each other. So that's a little bit of a difference. But it will help you sort of focus in on what you're writing for your response groups this week. There's a post survey for Begin Your Research. You have been doing the assignments from the library, and this is sort of the post survey of what you learned. But before you started, you did a pre-survey that sort of told us what you knew at the beginning, and then there have been 3 assignments which comprise 7 different units or chapters within the Begin Your Research modules. And now this is the survey that sort of tells the librarian exactly how you've done and what you learned. And so the link to that is here. Please note, I will get things updated as soon as I can with those, and I'll just wait on the librarian's responses, so it takes a little bit more time than usual. You are participating in a draft response group, a revision response group. Please do look carefully at the assignment for the peer response letters, and for at the top there's actually 2 different things here: response groups forums overview. Take a look at that again. And also composing response group letters overview. You're going to be writing more substantial letters this week to the people in your group, at least 300 words each, and that provides you some guidance in order to help you do so. So please look at those things before you share your feedback with your group members, because the expectations are higher than they were last week. A reminder also that if you miss some assignments in weeks 1 through 3, that you have the opportunity to make them up. And the assignment amnesty link is in this week's thing again, and that deadline is Friday. So even if you missed 1 or you missed 6 assignments, I encourage you to make those up. It's the only opportunity you'll have for making work up or getting things in late for the entire semester. So it's good to get everything caught up now so that if you do miss something later, it doesn't have such a large impact on your grade. So please take a look at that. If you have questions, let me know. And also make sure that once you complete all the work that you're going to do, that you send me an email and let me know which assignments you made up, because there's no reason for me to go back to all those assignments that I already graded and scored and read and things like that, and I don't get notifications for new additions. So it's important that you do let me know where to go and look so that I can change your grade accordingly. The final thing I wanted to point out to you, there is a sign up here for conferences. If you didn't sign up for an Essay 1 conference, or you signed up for one and you did not send me your Google Doc at the scheduled time, this is your opportunity to do a makeup conference, which has to be completed next week in week 6. And if you did do a conference in week 4 or 5 and would like to have a revision conference, maybe you just sent me your outline and now you'd like to have a conference about your whole essay, you're welcome to sign up for a revision conference, and that can take place during week 6 or 7. Okay, so please read this and take a look. I have opened up week 6 through 10 of the semester, which is to give you some preview of what you can expect going forward. I don't have all the assignments live, but at least it has the reading, it has the information for you, so you can plan accordingly. If you have questions at any time, please let me know, and I look forward to seeing you on Moodle. Have a great week.